Okay, so let's discuss why we are here today. Dad, you're applying to get sole custody of the kids. Is that correct? Could you tell me a little bit about why that is?
She makes me so angry, and she's the worst mother. You make me so mad when you always forget to pick up the kids from school. You put their safety at risk.
I'm a great mother. I've always been a better parent than you. I don't even do anything wrong. So what if I forget to pick up the kids once or twice?
Once or twice? You've forgotten a million times. You're so absent-minded. It's like you don't even have a brain, and you're untrustworthy. And don't even get me started on your out-of-control drug problem.
Okay, so there's a lot of tension here, but I know that we can resolve some of it and leave today in a better place. So I want to try using something called nonviolent communication, or NVC. So NVC takes all of this anger and frustration, and it finds the unmet need behind it. And hopefully it'll turn it into empathy and understanding and leave you both feeling a little bit resolved. So there are a few steps in nonviolent communication. The first thing I want both of you to do is to state the observed behaviors in which you want to change. So Dad, would you like to start?
I see you're not picking up the kids all the time, and not to mention when they go to school, they're dirty.
Okay, so that's a good start. And now let's just state things based off of our senses.
Okay. I get a call from the school about once a week about how the kids are not being picked up. I see their hair is not brushed and their clothes still smell like smoke.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is that you are observing your kids not being picked up from school and sometimes they appear unkempt. Is that correct?
Yeah, I guess that sums it up.
Okay, perfect observation. So Mom, how about you go now?
Well, I see him judging me, saying that I'm not a good mom, and I've always been there for them.
So what I'm hearing is an analysis and not so much an observation. So let's try to separate those two out and look at just the facts and observed behaviors.
He argues with me about this stuff in front of the kids, and I don't like that.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is that Dad brings up this topic in front of the kids and it turns into an argument?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so now that you're both aware of the observed behaviors each of you would like changed, let's move on to the next step, which is feelings. So how do these observed behaviors make you both feel?
I feel like he needs to mind his own business.
These kids are my business.
Okay, so it's important to state our feelings in relation to ourselves, not other people. It's also important to remember to distinguish feelings from thoughts. So, Mom, what you just stated above was actually a thought and not a feeling. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
So, like this, I feel scared.
Exactly. So you guys are really starting to get it. So, Mom, let's see you try.
I think that I've got it. I think that I would say I feel upset and angry when he yells at me in front of the kids.
Great. So you both have stated your feelings in relation to yourselves and not anyone else. So now let's move on to the third step. So nonviolent communication emphasizes needs and how we react to those needs that are not being met. So what are the unmet needs behind the feelings that you've both expressed? Who would like to go first this time?
I don't care, I'll go first. My unmet need is safety and security for my family.
If you take my kids away from me, I will not be able to be the active mother that I want to be. I feel like my family is just abandoning me.
Okay, so Mom, I understand that this is really important to you and you want to be heard in your concerns, but to really understand, we need to listen and not interrupt. So Mom, can you repeat back what you heard Dad say?
Okay, it's just so hard to do right now. I think his unmet need is safety for our children.
Fantastic. So now what is the unmet need that you have?
My unmet need is being heard and included. I don't want to miss out on time with my kids.
Okay. Dad, can you paraphrase what Mom just said?
She wants to be an active mother and there for her children. She doesn't want to feel abandoned.
Okay, great. So now that we've established our important needs that are not being met and we seem to understand one another, let's move on to the last step. So the last step of nonviolent communication is making a request to get our needs met. So a big part of this communication is establishing a connection and understanding. So Dad, what requests do you think we can make to meet your needs?
You need to get clean to take care of the kids, plain and simple.
I want you to understand what I'm going through and how hard it's been lately.
So remember, this request needs to be constructive and attainable. So Dad, let's try and rephrase what you said and then try to utilize some positive language.
Would you be willing to enter a rehab program while I take care of the kids so you can get clean?
Excellent. Okay, so Mom, what do you have to say to that? And also, what kind of request do you have for him?
I think I can agree to that request. It's what's best for me and for my family. Now, would you be willing to have a family dinner every once in a while so that I can see my kids and you can see the progress that I'm making?
Yes, I can agree to that.